Hello, Linda here from Barlates Body Blitz, little mini having some water. Come and join me for a charity workout. Now, today is going to be all about cats. You guys know I am a crazy cat lady. Not that crazy, but a little bit crazy, with Minnie and Yoda. And if you listen to one of my previous active chats, I also mentioned a whole lot of stray cats that I've been dealing with. So, for those who don't want to participate in the workout side of things, which is going to be mainly like a standing session, we're going to be doing some cardio moves to begin with, and then some more kind of standing Pilates moves, just starting in place, and then we're just going to go side to side for the next move. So this first section of cardio is just going to be 40 seconds of work and without any breaks. And we're just going to put a little bit of flavor to it, maybe a little bit of a dancey groove, but nothing too complicated. So if you don't want to stay for the entire workout, I'm going to give a quick summary at the beginning. And then after that, I'm going to go into more detail about the entire story. So the quick summary is we have a huge stray cat problem at the end of our street, which I only found out about, let's go heels in front, which I only found out about a few months ago. And me being me, I got heavily involved and I started trapping them and giving them to rescues where they foster them out in order to get new homes. So it's kind of like a rehabilitation program. There was a lot of stuff going on with that, with other neighbours who were kind of wildlife lovers, anti-cat people getting involved and causing all sorts of problems and giving us deadlines because they wanted to deal with the stray cat issue in their own way, knees up. And yeah, so it was kind of like a very, very stressful situation. It's finally getting under control. We are taking in a couple of the cats, and I'll give you more details about that later. So Minnie and Yoda are going to get some siblings. And we need help because every single one of these cats has to be desexed so that they cannot keep making more kittens. And the charities that we're giving them to, because it is kitten season at the moment, have been inundated. And so it's really up to us trappers or people like part of the community. Let's go 2 steps across. So people in the community who have a heart for cats and who are getting involved, it's up to us to kind of spread awareness and ask for help. So I have set up a GoFundMe page explaining all of the ins and outs of what's going on in order to raise funds, not only for the vet bills, but also because part of the process of trapping them is feeding them. So all of the food, they go through a lot of food, people. You don't think cats eat that much, but stray cats are another story. So let's go push. So yeah, I'm asking for donations as little as $2, $5, whatever you can spare. It can be anonymous. I totally don't mind it being anonymous because all I want is for these poor little sweethearts to get a better life. Not living on the streets where they can get run over, hardly ever have consistent meals, riddled with fleas, which causes so many health issues for them, can have things like cat flu, cat AIDS, all sorts of diseases, worms in their tummies. There's so many terrible things that these poor little guys go through. Let's go back to 2 steps, but make it a little bit more hippie. So yeah, please donate to this very worthy cause. I have taken it upon myself to rid our community from this stray cat issue in order for their benefit, the cat's benefit, but also our pets' safety, because obviously the more stray cats are around, the more fights our pets get into, dogs and cats, and it can cause a real issue. So I'm here to bring awareness and to ask for your help. So that, my friends, is the short version. So if that's all you want to know, please go to the links below. Go side, step, and it's a diagonal back and across. Diagonal front, diagonal back, and across. If that's all you would like to listen to today, I would really appreciate if you could go to the link in the description to the GoFundMe page and donate as much as you're able to. And as I said, any little bit counts. So I thank you in advance for your generosity. Now, for all of you lovely people who like a good story, where should I even begin? So, let's go step and knee. Because I did already mention some of this in a previous coffee talk, I'm going to do a bit of a recap. So sorry for people who have already heard the story. I'll do a bit of a recap and then I'll fill in some gaps. So this all started probably about 8 months ago when this little black kitty, kept coming into our house through the cat door and eating the cat's food. Now at first it wasn't much of an issue, but unfortunately it soon became an issue. Let's go step and lift your leg. It soon became an issue because this cat started spraying inside, which made me realize it wasn't desexed. I mean, some cats can spray when they're not desexed, but it's likely. And then my cats got fleas, which was an absolute nightmare. And I wouldn't wish it upon anyone who has carpeted homes. It was a nightmare. So we dealt with all of that, but I knew, unfortunately, that if I did not find the owner of this cat, it will continue to happen. Because Yoda, let's go the other side, step, and Yoda is very social, and he has a best friend across the road, Snowball, and Snowball is also quite social, so they congregate with these stray cats, which I didn't know, but they were congregating with these stray cats, made buddies with them, having tea parties with them, and hence the fleas just kept getting passed around. And no matter how many times I treated him, the treatment that you put, the spot-on treatment, is basically a flea lands on you within 24 hours, it would die. But if they keep landing on you, they're constantly still within that 24-hour window. Leg up and tap. So then he comes home, deposits them on Minnie, deposits them on the carpet, and it continues. So I knew I had to find the source of the issue. So I went all around the neighborhood asking if anyone saw this black cat. Turns out at the end of my street, like literally 5 houses down, these young guys were living there and saying, yep, seen that cat, it's actually a stray, and there's actually a massive issue with probably about 20 cats. And all they do is have cat fights on their driveway at night. They can't sleep, they're at their wits' end. And yeah, it was definitely, let's go wide march, it was definitely more of an issue than I signed up for, people. So it turns out that the young guys were renting from this older guy, and I ended up chatting with him because the boys were kind of at their wits' end and they were going to bait the cats and basically poison them. And as soon as I heard this, luckily they texted me because I said, can you just, let me know what's going on? And they said, keep your cats in because we're going to poison those cats tonight. And I was like, what? You can't do that? Like, how do you even know? Let's go knee and heel. How do you even know that you're going to get the right cat? What if a neighborhood pet ends up going into the trap because you're putting something tasty in there and you kill someone's pet? You just can't be doing that. It's just not legal. So I ended up talking to the landlord saying, look, this is what those guys are doing. And I said, in our council, unfortunately, they don't deal with the stray cat problem. They expect you to trap the cats if they're on your property and hand them into the ranger, who then takes them to a cat rescue. So the landlord ended up taking it upon himself, other side, to start trapping the cat. So he bought a trap, and I was kind of like glad that I didn't have to do it and that I didn't have to be involved, because I've got such a soft spot for cats that even seeing them in the trap and everything would just be so difficult. So I just kind of let him do it until he was able to get 8 of them. And then he messaged me saying, oh, the shelter that they were being taken to is full now. So unfortunately, the whole thing was going to stop and we were never going to finish the problem. And basically that means give it another few months, they would be having another lot of kittens wired out and in. So I rang around everywhere, ringing all these different rescue organizations, and the only one that replied was one called 9 Lives Cat Rescue. And the lady basically said that she would take them. So I can trap them and she would take them. So I did. Within a week, we trapped 7, including tiny little babies, but we did it the humane way. We didn't leave them in the trap overnight. We just basically put the trap there, sat watching the trap, put the trail of food so the cat would go in it, other leg leading. And as soon as they got trapped, we grabbed them and took them to this lady's house. And then she put them in quarantine, flea treated them, worm treated them, and looked after them until they got to the point of being desexed, and then tried to find foster carers for them. So we did this with the first 7 or so, and we thought, great, you know, like we'll get foster carers, everything's cool. Turns out no one was putting their hand up for foster care. So we had all these cats and they were all crammed in her house along with all these others she already had. Let's go side and in. So bring your elbow down to your knee. And she was at her wit's end because she had all these cats now and nobody wanted to foster. And plus this charity has no funds to even desex the cats. So we had to wait weeks, like over a month I think it was, to desex the first lot, let alone all the ones that were still on the streets. So this whole time I'm feeding them every single night on the streets, and they've come to get to know me and they're so cute. And one of them in particular lets me scratch his little head. Like they're strays, they're not feral. So they've grown up, other side, around humans, and maybe as kittens they might have even been handled, but they're definitely more shy than your average cat that has been around humans and knows that humans are good, not bad, well some humans are good. So anyway, no funds and still all these cats. Then one of the little ones that I got really close to, she looks pregnant, she has a big belly and she's only like little, she's only like maybe 6 months. And I'm like, no way. So now she's on the streets and she's pregnant and she could have these kittens out on the street. Let's go knee, step, 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 knee. And it's been super hot here as well. It's been like 35 to 40 degrees with humidity for weeks. And I was like, these kittens are not even going to survive this heat. So I had no choice, even though I didn't really want to get involved with actually adopting or fostering. Had to get Dumpling off the street. Little Dumpling. She doesn't know yet that she's hit the jackpot. She's still very scared, but every day she's progressing a little bit. Walk, walk, and then try and touch your toe. So walk, walk, leg raise, walk, 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 leg raise. There you go. So yeah, we have a new addition to the family. She is very sweet, very shy, still kind of hides and does all of these scared things, but she's going to get there. She wasn't eating at first, that was a drama, so now I managed to find what she actually likes after giving her a smorgasbord of every type of food I could think of. Like she got Scotch fillet steak, she got boiled chicken, let's stay on one side, she got smoked salmon, tuna, sardines, every type of cat food, like at least 20 different things before finally she liked this vet formula hydration food, this Purina food. And I was like, finally. So now I gave her that and she drank the whole bowl. And then I started mixing it with little bits of other food and gradually put less of the hydration food in and more of the solid food. So now she's kind of got a pretty good appetite again, like not really good, not as much as she should be eating because she's preggers. Preggers is the Australian way of saying it. I don't know if you guys say preggers as well, you might say prego. So She's eating, which is good. And now we've got the whole thing of how far along are her babies, because is it better for such a young mum to terminate the pregnancy, or do we just let her have it? I don't know if there's some health implications to abortions in cats. I don't know like which is the best way to go. If anyone has any suggestions, please comment below. Let's walk and let's just do like little figure eights with our arms. Start using our arms a little bit. So it's kind of a bit of a question mark. Because she wasn't eating, I couldn't take her into the vet anyway to get either sterilized or have the babies terminated, because she needs to be in top form. So now that she's eating, I'm going to try and get her into the vet to do an ultrasound just to see how far along she is. I mean, really, I want her to have the babies, because I've never had a cat that had kittens, and it would be super cute, but I also know it's going to be difficult times. It's going to be really messy, probably not much sleep. I don't know if anyone has experience with kittens, so cross and up. If anyone has experience, let me know. Is it worth it? I mean, at the end of the day, there's so many kittens out on the streets anyway that it probably would be best not to create another, what are they called again? Litter? I don't know why it's called a litter. It's like such a horrible name. It's a litter, you know, as if they're rubbish or something. I hate that name. Anyway, I digress. So that's Dumpling. So now we still have we've got 2 teeny tiny cats. Let's go back to this so I can talk to you. Let's go wide and out. We've got 2 little teeny tiny babies and their parents on the street still. We've got a black mum, so beautiful, like a panther, really sleek, with 2 more babies, because we already trapped one of the babies, but they're older. They're probably about 10 weeks. So they're actually at that point where they're not going to stay with mum anyway. Then we've got, so what's that? Then we've got another little black one who has my absolute heart, like little Minnie, but even smaller and more petite and younger, much younger. And then let's just go back with one leg. And then we've got Dorky. Now, people, Dorky, I think Dorky might be Dumpling's brother, because their eyes are almost identical. And he's so cute. He's called Dorky because one of my friends saw the photo of him, and you guys know what Dorky means, right? Just a little bit awkward and like looks a little bit like square and dorky. Anyway, so she said he looks dorky, and then I just started calling him that just for fun. But then it stuck, and it just suits him so much. And he is the cutest. He's so affectionate. Other side, he comes up to me and like rubs against my hand if I call to him. He has the tiniest, squeakiest little meow, and he eats like a horse. So you know those big tins of 400 grams here of cat food? He will eat 1.5 those tins every night, plus biscuits. I have to keep feeding him because he's like the boss of the colony, and if I don't keep feeding him, he steals the other cat's food. So I just have to keep pouring food on his plate. He eats so much food that at the end of it, he like wobbles a bit when he walks. Let's go up and down with the hands and 2-step across. Yeah, it's like he's so full he can't even walk straight. And I've been feeding him for like nearly a month, and he has put on a lot of weight. Like his belly is so much bigger now, which, you know, is really cute because he's overall very skinny. So I love him so much, and I really want to keep him as well, because if they are siblings, then, you know, they're probably going to get along. But he also needs to be desexed. So because of the complications, I mean, I could go into even more detail about, there's a complication with Dorky as well. His balls haven't dropped. It doesn't seem. Let's stay here, one to the side and one to the knee. So yeah, so his balls haven't dropped, which means the surgery to desex him is going to be a treasure hunt, and it could be a lot more expensive. So yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare. So where we're at the moment is I'm going to be trapping the rest of these cats. The kittens are going to be quite easy to place. The older ones, not so much. I've got one lady that's interested in one of the black ones, and we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Now, this neighbor that initially was trapping them, let's go other side. He wants his, I forgot to tell you, I managed to get his trap off him. I was borrowing it because I didn't want him to keep trapping them inhumanely by leaving them in the trap the whole night. So wrong. So I got the trap off him and I said, I'll handle it. And he wants his trap back by the end of the month. And even though I kind of said, look, just let me handle it, he said, oh, a friend of mine wants to use it, but I know what he wants to do. I know he just wants to get the rest of them, which I do understand they are a nuisance to him. He's got a dog. They set the dog off every night. Let's go into a leg raise front and side. So I do get that they are a nuisance to him, but I am dealing with it. And I've got a band of little carers and people that love these cats that are working with me. So I'm not on my own. And I want to tell you guys that this has been my passion, along with fitness. Cats has been my passion since I was little. Since I was 8, when the first pair of little kittens adopted me, stray kittens adopted me. And I just love them so much. From that point on, it's almost like my heart molded into this cat shape. Like, I'm not joking. I just love them so much. And I've always wanted to have a large property, fully enclosed, and make a cat haven for stray cats. And I feel like I'm manifesting this. I don't know if you guys believe in manifestation, but this has been something that has always been on my heart. It was actually part of my 10-year plan when I did some meditation a few years ago. And now it's happening because it's so in my face, I can't not deal with it, right? Let's go knee up and then back. This is a balance challenge. Knee up and then raise that booty raise. So I do feel like this is my initiation into the cat rescue game. And I'm glad, you know, even though it's been super stressful because my heartstrings get so tugged at by this issue and I just want to keep them all. At the same time, I know that I've got the ability to actually get stuff done. You know, I have that practical kind of mind to be able to just get things moving and see outcomes and make a plan for things when doors get shut. So I know that it's something that I would be good at. And I also have the patience and the lifestyle to be able to take care of a few of them and maybe not adopt, maybe just foster and then get them rehabilitated, get them to the point where they can, you know that humans can be good, and then give them new families. So it's something that has been on my heart for so long, and I'm really, not that I'll ever stop fitness, guys, but you might see some more cats in here. I'm hoping that I'm going to get, let's go side to side. I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get some of these cats used to me exercising around them like Minnie so that they stay in the shot for you. So anyway, this is where we're at and I will keep you updated. There are still at least 8 cats out on the streets that I've been feeding every day that need to be homed and they all need to be desexed. So I need some money, people. Not that I don't have money, but you know what I mean. I know you guys are good. I know a lot of you watch this channel because of Minnie, because you're cat people and you're like, let's, support the cat lady. So I'm asking for your support. I pretty much have never asked for donations. The only other time I asked for donations was for the bushfire appeal about 5 years ago, and that was donating to the Red Cross, I think. But yeah, I'm asking for donations. Go down to the GoFundMe link in the description and please just donate from your heart. However much you can spend, it doesn't have to be, it can be $1. Okay, it can be $2, whatever it is. The more of you that donate, the more cats I'm going to be able to save from having terrible lives on the streets. And that is all. That is my story to you. Thank you for exercising with me. Thank you for listening, and I will keep you updated. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.